Good evening, everyone who is participating in the MIF dialogue online and offline. I am Bibin Asnath, Field Publicity Officer with the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. As you all know, Mumbai International Film Festival is on its last day tomorrow, and there's lots of good films have been screened throughout these days, and lots of things are happening. Those who are yet to catch these interesting films can watch them in the hybrid mode available at MIFF.in. Today we have with us 5 filmmakers for the MIFF Dialogues, the idea sharing and exchange platform of Mumbai International Film Festival. I will give a brief introduction on the filmmakers, after which we can hear from them about the films. The first one is Mr. Mukesh Sharma, the director of documentary film Wheeling the Ball. Wheeling the Ball is included in the national competition section of MIF 2022. And regarding the director, Mukesh Sharma is a graduate in social anthropology from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai, and a master's degree in sociology from the University of Bombay. He is also a diploma holder in film production from the Xavier's Institute of Communication and a diploma in journalism from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Mumbai. Since 1997, he is working as a cameraman with Films Division and shot various documentaries. The second one is Mr. K.S. Sridhar, director of the documentary film DHOBI GHAT. DHOBI GHAT is included in the international competition section of MIF 2022. K.S. Sridhar, an alumnus of Bangalore Film Institute, has worked as cinematographer for more than 60 films and documentaries. His films, The Valley of Flowers, Dialer Arunima Sinha, and Winds of Change were highly appreciated. We have also with us Mr. B. INR, director of the film Man of Blossoms, Padma Shri Dr. T. Venkatapati. Man of Blossoms is a documentary film about the Padma Shri Award winner, Dr. T. Venkatapati Reddyar, a specialist in agriculture and horticulture. Man of Blossoms is included in the national competition section of MIF 2022. I word on the director too. BINR, a student of electronics media, is working as a laboratory assistant at Films Division, and The Man of Blossoms is his debut film. We have also with us Mr. Ashish Kumar Das, director of the animation film SWATCHTA Ki ADALAT. SWATCHTA Ki ADALAT is on open defecation system in the rural parts of India, and the film is screened in national competition section of MIF. And a word on the director, Ashish Kumar Das is a student of art from the prestigious Kala Bhavana at Vishwabharati University, Shanti Niketan. As an artist, he has held solo exhibitions of his work at the Jahangir Art Gallery, Mumbai. He joined the animation department of Films Division in 2015. I would also like to welcome Mr. B. Suresh Kumar, director of the film The School Bell. School Bell is a short musical film on the eradication of child labor, and this film has been included in the national competition section of MIF and has won awards at several international film festivals. And a word on the director too. Mr. B. Suresh Kumar has worked as a sound engineer for more than 400 features and documentaries. Later, he joined as a sound recordist in Films Division and directed documentary films God to Code and Ecstasy of God. Now we can hear from the directors on what they have to tell about their films. First, I would like Mr. Mukesh Sharma to have dialogue.
Before Mukesh begins, we are also accompanied by the editors of the films. Mr. Mukesh Dhumal, he is the Mahesh Dhumal. He is the editor of the Mukesh film, and Shanmuganathan, he is the editor of DHOBI GHAT and Man of Blossoms.
Okay, sir. Welcome to the dialogue. Yeah, Mukesh.
Hi, wishing you, I'm glad that at least I got a chance to interact with you. And my film, Winning the Ball, is about girls who are on wheelchair. And it's about how a sports can, change a person's life. And, it changes the entire attitude to live in a very different way. Once a person goes, his body is damaged, so physically and socially and mentally, the entire graph of the person is down. And this sports actually has ignited their life to live in a new way and new challenges. And in spite of the attitude of society, they are not bothered now. They think that they are now sporting heroes. So that is what I have tried to show in my film, that sporting has actually changed their life in a different way. Now their entire energy is using the sports to prove themselves in a different way, to create a different image of themselves. So that's what my film is about. And one of the main characters in the film, she herself was basically a sports person even before she met with an accident. And after accident, she still continues to uh, practice basketball. So that is her passion, and that is what is there in throughout the film basically. So that's what I try to capture in that.
Thank you, sir. Now we can hear from the Mr. K.S. Sridhar, director of the documentary film DHOBI GHAT.
Thank you everyone for coming here. The film DHOBI GHAT, as you all know, is based it's quite near from this place. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. So the Mahalakshmi DHOBI GHAT, it is one of the oldest DHOBI GHAT here. It's around 130 years old as of now. And earlier it was a very huge place, and slowly there are encroachments happening, and they have a very few small area left with them now, and they're also fighting for it. So my film was basically to just kindle an interest in the people in the audience, to have an interest of what it is, because every day we pass through that. Many of them pass through that, but the DHOBI GHAT, we don't realize that there is a life inside that. Actually, if you go there, it's a flyover, and you can't see that place. Only when you get on of your vehicle, when you go there, and then only you can have a look at what DHOBI GHAT is. Or else we just pass through the road. We don't even know what is happening inside. So basically my interest was to show their life. And as Ms. Meena that was telling me yesterday, so in another 10 years, this place will not exist. This profession might not exist here, in this place. So I wanted to have a record of it. So that's it.
Thank you, sir, for the brief introduction. We will come later to you for detailed deliberations. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ashish Kumar Das to have a few words about the film.
Thank you very much. I'm honored that my film is selected in national competition in MIFF, and I have made one my film is SWATCHTA Ki ADALAT, which is 4 minutes durations animation film, where the story is under the Swachh Bharat mission, that scheme, open defecation system in rural area. So in rural area, still so many people are going going to the nature. So I'm showing that they should use the scheme. They should take the scheme, government schemes, and they should build the toilets. So this story is very normal, but where I have tried my best to get the beautiful designs and characters, and nobody will see that it is not information, but they will be happy to see that I try to create a drama in that. So protagonist is sleeping and having the dream that George is giving punishment, and then he understood that he should try to build this toilet, and also he gave the message to everyone they should also build the toilet in every house. So that is what I try to bring the message in this animation films. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to welcome B. Suresh Kumar, director of the School Bell, to have a few words.
Thank you. Welcome everybody. Actually, I thank my organization for keeping faith in me and giving me the opportunity to do this film School Bell. Basically, I'm a sound recordist. So I thought I should tell the film through sound. So I chose there should not be any dialogue because my issue is a child labor issue. So it is there universal. So I thought I should not keep I won't keep any dialogue in the film. So I took a prayer song as a soundtrack. A school prayer song is a soundtrack. So the boy who is a cycle is working in a cycle repair shop. He is there. He hears the school bell. Then he just immediately takes his bag and runs to school. The prayer song continues, and he joins the prayer, and the visuals are going. And the next shot is they are entering the classroom with a bang, the way the children will go. And then they are playing, they are eating, the boy is writing, scribbling on the note. So the prayer song is here, and simultaneously we are hearing the in the first shot. First shot of the cycle shop, he is about to pump the tube of the cycle. So hearing the school bell only, he ran to the school. So after that, in the school he plays. We are hearing the prayer song ends, and he rides, and he plays in the ground, and he is doing mischiefs in the class with the fellow students and all. And simultaneously, we are hearing the air pump noise, like it's the way it goes slowly. And finally, the school bell rings again, as if the school ends, and they are jumping out of the school as they go to the house. There, the pump sound we are hearing very loudly, and the tube bursts. Then we see the boy with the very sad face, and the camera tilts up to the boy, and he is having a very sad face towards the camera. And I give the caption, "I want to go to school." So it's a dream. He just had a dream that as if he went to school, he played, he studied, he ate something there, and like that. So it's a 3 minutes film. So I thought I should not keep any dialogue. So I think this thing is conveyed, this message is very strong, I believe. So that's my film, School Bell.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. B. INR to talk a few words on his film.
Thanks for giving opportunity. I thank the whole film division for giving this opportunity to make a film about prove myself. My film is based on the agriculture. In the agriculture, there is a part, there is a horticulture also. The 4th standard farmer who became a wonders in the farming. That's why I show in my film. The farming is a regular pattern most of the farmers are doing, but he take a separate route to making farming, and that's why I shown to my film. And another one is now the farming is doing only the oldest people, but now the stage is to take out the youngsters to do farming more. That's why I have to show the two youngsters to the new varieties of what Mr. Venkatapati did. All the youngsters should make that varieties to go to the next level of the farming. That's why I shown my film. That's all about my film. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, now the floor is open for the questions and open dialogues.
I had questions for editors. So normally editors don't get that creative freedom. So any what do you want to say about that?
Hello, thank you for the opportunity. Actually, we can speak in Hindi?
Yeah, sure.
This documentary rating वो तो ना बहुत फ्रीडम है. अब नॉर्मल फिक्शन ऐसे इधर नहीं होते, ऐसे हम सीन वाइज शूट करके हम ऐसे नहीं होते. तो डॉक्यूमेंट्री ना अभी 2 फिल्म्स धोबी घाट और मैन ऑफ ब्लॉसम्स आ रहा है ना डॉक्यूमेंट्री है, वो उसके लिए अलग एक्सपीरियंस है. उनको शूट करने के बाद पूरा देखने का पड़ेगा. उसके हम स्टोरी क्रिएट करने का ना, हम डायरेक्ट दोनों बैठ के स्टोरी क्रिएट करने का ना वो इधर का ना हमारा डायरेक्टर को सब फ्रीडम था.
मतलब डॉक्यूमेंट्री में फ्रीडम ज़्यादा मिलती है शॉर्ट फिक्शन से.
एक्चुअली हम ज़्यादा सोचना पड़ रहा है इसमें डॉक्यूमेंट्री में. फिक्शन में इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. नॉन फिक्शन में ना हम स्टोरी हम क्रिएट करना पड़ता है.
I just add to your this thing. Like,
Yes, sir.
oh, you want to pause? I'll just add to what he said is this thing. Like in documentary, you can call this as the post-script stage. Like in feature films, your question is more inclined towards feature films, which is very script-oriented, and the filmmaker meticulously follows the script shot-wise, which is not the case in documentaries, because you are shooting with a theme in mind, the visuals in mind, and that is gets moving. You begin to think and shoot according to that. And then when you come back on the editing table, you sit with your editor, and then you can redesign your structure of the film and the narrative or whatever it is. So this is you call as postscript. So in my case, I had a very good collaboration with my editor, and we had a fantastic relationship, and he's the associate director of my film. So that was the equation which I worked with the team.
I'll add a quote to this. I think no, she's busy.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. See, there's a famous quote by Alfred Hitchcock. He says that in feature films, director is God. In documentary films, God is the director. Okay. Okay.
Talking of which, today, when the jury members were interacting in the MIF dialogue, they commented that in Indian documentary films, there is a tendency to put a lot of emphasis on narration or commentary. So, and instead of this non-linear system of storytelling. So, as directors of the documentary films, what is your take on that? No, on putting a lot of emphasis on narration.
Talking of narration in terms of commentary, or narrations can be of different kinds also. Yeah, like I think so the present films what we have are not having direct written commentary, but we use narration. Like in my film, there's no commentary as such, but it is a narration of the voice of the people, of the characters, the sports person. It is their voice which is the narration of the film. So their interviews we have converted into a narration. We have structured their interview in such a way that it has become the narration of the film. So there's no voice the voice of the director. It is actually the voice of the artist. And that is the way the narration has been done in my film.
In my film, the narration is not that. Narration has been given by the characters of that idea is I thought to give the narration in my film, but my editor told me to that there is no need for narration. Instead of the character has been Mr. Venkapati has been narrating the story. Then why you have to? So I thank to my editor for this idea.
See, I think all over the world, not only in India, the trend is changing. You can see the narrative style of filmmaking, documentary filmmaking. It was there all over. Okay, but nowadays it's changing. So, and even here, even in India, I think it's changing. I don't think anybody prefers that kind of narration right from the beginning till the end. I don't think it's happening now in these times. Yeah, we are using narration where it is required. That is that.
Sure.
Because you are directors and editors here, I just want to say that we say that film is done twice. One when the director is filming, and the second time is when the editor is editing it. So that is another creation of the film. So I want to know, since you're here, how on the process of making the film, how did you work together? Where were you editing and process working? How was the collaboration of working while the film the directing was going on, and how was this collaboration going on during the shooting and editing?
I'll answer because when shooting the film School Bell, I shot a lot of visuals possible in the school. And whatever I could take, I took everything, thinking that my editor will be very happy. He just threw off some of the very good shots, which I thought it was very good shot. He told, this won't help this film. So it's the editor also can, we had a big fight, myself and editor. That way only we work. So he told, and he has to justify and I have to justify. Why? He told, this film needs this type of a format, this type of approach. So don't go with your good visuals or whatever it is. So he told, then I also agreed, and finally we came to a zero to a pattern. Thanks.
See, this what you've been asking the question differs from content to content. Like some could be a short fiction, but in the case, say for my example, which I can share with you is, say for my example was it was based on a story which I read in the paper. It was a visual essay on these women basketball players who would be now playing, representing India internationally, which I thought was also a very proud moment as at a national level as a Indian itself. And also it was a very motivating theme. So when I was about to make this film, so obviously I showed it this content and I studied it. And then when I was actually shooting very randomly, like I got in touch with the Federation, and then from the Federation, I followed their events, like the practice sessions and the particular key players who had a very interesting story, which was suggested to me by the Federation. So, then I shot their stories and then shot the match. When I came back, then there was another, the protagonist of the film, which I shot almost in the latter part of the film. She was in Bombay. And then her story was when I interviewed her, it kept unfolding every time when I was there. So when it was like, it was not planned what would be the shape of the film. But yes, it was going to be a motivational film that was there in my mind. And after shoot, I shot in 2-3 places. I shot in Mumbai, I shot in Orissa, I shot in Chennai and Erode. After coming, and I think so, we had something like 17 hours of footage. So he was a bit annoyed. Huh? Almost, it was very, because I shot matches after matches, practice sessions, interviews, and we had to bring down this film to 40 minutes. So I think that was a very tough task. So once we were together, so he said, okay, this stuff is good. So how do you put it? So then after a week, I sat down and then I wrote down the outline of the film. Okay, this is the structure which I want in the film. This should be the starting, this should be the end, these are the moments, these are the characters and all that. So then I put that, he assembled that. So that was the relation between us. So once we got it down to say something like 2 hours, then from there we started all shaping and got it to 40 minutes. So that's how the equation was.
Yesterday, while the wildlife filmmaker Subbiah Nallamudu was taking that masterclass, he was saying that most of his films were self-funded, that it is very difficult to get funding for documentary films. But in your case, all of the films are funded by Films Division. So as filmmakers, I would like your comments on what are the pros and cons of having this public funds or public funding for your documentaries. Is it limiting your imagination or creativity in some way?
I've been working in this organization for almost 30 years and never experienced a sense of any hurdles in expressing my creativity. And I'm glad that I live in a profession that makes films. So if you're a filmmaker, I think so you can, even some great filmmakers have worked in government organization. They have made films. So I don't think there's any kind of hurdles for you. Obviously, there is a structure in which you have to work, which you have to go in any part of the world, you have to work in a structure. So that cannot be denied, that if you go in a private organization or an ex-organization, that you will get absolute freedom. No. I mean, there is a structure in which every organization you will have to go and work, and you have to follow that. And I think so you have to accept it.
I think in self-funding, you have freedom rather than the other thing, vice versa. There you have to justify. If, for example, our office or any organization is funding you for a film, you have to, especially you have to justify each and every expense. Why? What for? So when it is self-funding, no, you are free. But creativity should be same for everything. That's it.
There are some official hurdles, like as he said, you have to justify, you have to answer, you have to give justify why you want to shoot it this way, or why you want another schedule, or why you want to extend your shooting. What you have to justify for each and every expense, but still the creativity exists. Somehow you have to find your way through it and get the work done. That's the.
I want to have your take on that, sir.
I was not that much of hurdles into facing that, but it's a difficult into, as Suresh sir told, it's a we won't produce means we have the more freedom. Coming to the government sector, there is a lot of rules and regulation in that, so we have to go to the rules and regulation. That's all.
Thank you, sir. And so your take on the.
Yeah, my points that I am doing animation films. There, I have the full freedoms to portray my expressions, and I try to bring my fine artist quality, the painting quality in the animations, not about only the animations moving something, but it's supposed to be by look at anybody that they'll feel that they'll enjoy how they are looking at the painting. So that I try to bring all my films. Here also I try to portray that characters are not very much realistic, but it is very much special, stylized, which is similar to some sort of creature, some sort of animals or some other. So I try to bring all these things in my character designs, and the background also. It's looking very the painting quality. So this is what, and also story that it should there is having nice drama. So all the films, whatever I try to portray, I try to make that it should be by look at these things. They should feel, the viewer should feel happy, and that creativity, that freedom is there, and I can do. And but of course that there's to do the film. There's a rules and regulation I have to follow as per the government rules. So that is there everywhere. Even if I'm going outside, there also is having the lots of problem, and there I have to show all these things. Sometimes the directors or sometimes producers don't like, and they have some norms, and that we have to follow. So everywhere is there. So same things like here also we have the committee. Sometimes they tell that the story should be like this, like this, but the visuals, it is mostly I'm getting the freedom. So there, in that case, in my case, animation, for making animation films, watchful, I'm getting freedom than any others, like the documentary filmmakers, how they are facing.
See, finally, money is money. Either self-funded or government sector funded. I feel the director has the responsibility of spending each and every money in a proper way, which is useful, which will add to the film. That's it.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Question is for Mukesh Sharma. I want to ask a question concerning your relation with the personnage de film. There was a very smooth and nice relation. And how did you prepare it? In France, we call it opérage. Before the film, we set up a lot of time with them. I want to know how did you get involved in such a smooth and good relation with them, but they were the moment that we were talking deeply about their life. How did you manage to bring that into the camera?
See, one of the things is that I read about the key players, about their achievements and about their performances and all that. Second was also the involvement of the federation. So they helped me to build up a relationship with them and their parents. And especially in Chennai, when I was shooting, I had this idea of, going to the house of the player and shooting, but they were very reluctant. They did not allow me to come to their house or this thing. Whatever interviews they gave me in the basketball court or where they were practicing, but they didn't allow me. I tried. I insisted that I would come to your house and shoot your activities. They were turning down that point. So there were issues that way, but some were very comfortable, and allowed me to come to their house and interview me and interview them and all that way.
So now that your screening is done, what is your feeling? Now that your screening is done in MIF, what is your feeling like?
Feeling is always, see, a filmmaker always you need to be satisfied more and more, not once but many times, by showing your film and make sure that it touches the heart of the audience. And this is my second. I already had one international screening with Heidelberg University, Germany, in the lockdown. So I got a good audience there, good reaction from there. So, and one thing was I was a bit disappointed because of COVID. I had made a promise to the players that once the film is completed, we would have a show and, you know, interact with them. But that, which actually happened on the 1st of June. And I fulfilled their promise, but it was late. Second, I just got a WhatsApp message just an hour before that these players in Pune have, but they already came for the screening on the 1st. And now they are in Pune and they just messaged me that they have shown the film to Anna Hazare. And he also liked the film. So it gives me a satisfaction that the film has an outreach, touches the point for what it is made. That is a thing.
Yeah. Well, see, anyone, when they show the film to an audience, that is the, like what you said, that's a moment of, you may show the film to how many people online or whatever, but when you are sitting in a theater with a full audience, that's a different feeling. It's always over. I'm always overwhelmed when there's an audience for my films. So how many ever times it happens in my life.
Yeah, I also have the same feeling because so far my film School Bell has gone to several film festivals, international and national, but it was all virtual mode only. First time I am seeing with an audience that film, so I could not sleep that night. So that's the feeling I got.
This is my first experience to screening my film in theater. I feel very happy and make proud. And it's motivated me to do another such a script like anything. It's motivating to the audience reaction to me. That's all. I thought what we
See,
did wrong in
learning-
that film, we have to take another new. What we did wrong in the film, we learned that. We go to the next film, we will not do it. It's my perspective.
Every film teaches you something new. Every project you learn from your past mistakes. And maybe sometime when you make a film, it's not immediately you will feel it. Maybe after a couple of months or a year or something, when you see your film, then you realize that there is a drawback here, which should come from your own heart. You know, you should be very honest that this is the drawback, and that's how you learn. That's how I learned myself. I mean, you have to be very, very cruel to yourself. You know, you can't say I'm beautiful. You have to say, yes, this is the problem. This is the area. Look into it honestly. Make sure that doesn't happen. And no one is going to teach you that this is the dark spot in you. You have to look for that. And that's what I believe. And that's how I, carry those internal suggestions and move ahead. Actually.
See, learning, as far as learning is concerned, I should tell that last MIF 2020, I was sitting in the audience. This MIF 2022, my film is there and national competition. So that is the fire which make us to do something. And today we are proud that our films are there in the competition. That's it.
I have a question to Sridhar sir. Again, while interacting with the delegates in the MIF dialogue, one of the filmmakers said that there is a tendency in some of the documentaries to create a sympathy for the subjects that is been portrayed in the film. So while doing this DHOBI GHAT, what all precautions have you taken to not create such a sympathy for the subjects?
Have you seen the film?
Yeah, yes, sir. I
Yeah.
saw it
Did
in
I
the
create sympathy?
hybrid mode. Hybrid mode.
But did I create sympathy?
A bit, I feel like towards the end, like when you are saying that they are facing an eviction. So,
Actually, see, I didn't go too much deep into it because there are a lot of problems which they are facing. Okay, so I just wanted to, as I said, that I want to kindle an interest in the audience. So I just touched the topic that they are facing problems. Okay, but I didn't go deep into it. Okay, so I didn't want to create any kind of sympathy. But in the same way, I also had to be true to the subject, to the film that I'm doing. So I had to give the audience that information that they are facing a problem. So that's why I just put that. It was just a touch of that topic. That's all. So I didn't go deep into it. I didn't create any kind of a sympathy in it.
Thank you, sir. As documentary filmmakers, what is your take or hopes on the future of documentaries and short films in our country, and how these new platforms like OTT are going to impact the docu genre?
I think it's the best time to make documentaries. It's the best time to make short fiction documentaries and offbeat films, because now you have a lot of avenues where you can, whether you can sell it or not, I don't know, but you can show it to an audience. Earlier, you only had theaters, and theaters wouldn't release any of these films. They only want commercial films. But now you have an avenue where you can show films. You have a lot of festivals other than MIF. MIF is one of the oldest festival, as you know, in India. But now you also have other festivals where documentary or short fiction or animation films are screened all over the world. And also you have OTT platforms. So if you're doing your job good, if you're doing a good film, then it will be accepted.
Also with digital, you have a fantastic outreach of your film. There's one link which you can just give it to a group of people in the world, and your film is screened all over it. So, like it is on one touch of a button, your film is spreads worldwide. So why not? And when the whole idea of digital technology is there, the whole process is very comparatively much better. And you can, earlier we had film cameras which were very expensive. Now even young people put in the bid, collect their pocket money, make a film, and they shoot on YouTube or anything. So yes, there is an option with this digital technology, which always encourage people.
See, earlier films means only fiction. So this documentary festivals broke that actual thing. So there is also non-fiction. So the students who are studying in film institutes, mass communication, visual communication, they have their own way of thinking. No, not everybody should go in fiction. So they have a parallel way. That we can also do documentaries, short fiction. Who can afford short fiction films? They can afford with a small camera. Even in mobiles, you can shoot a film nowadays. So it's very easy to reach your thought idea into a film in any medium or any format. That is a big change, and it's coming like anything.
INS, sir.
In my perspective, compared to feature films, it's an imagination. But in documentaries, we are telling the truth only. There is no imagination in documentary films. So it may be more people will not like, but we the directors, we like to show the originality to people. In the feature films, they are showing the imagination and all that commercial aspects. So I thought documentaries are very good to learn and good to give the truthful meaning to all of the audience, all set of audience.
See, MIF itself is an example. You can see the crowd, the students, the audience running for shows. We were very happy. I sometimes I feel, are we in fiction festival? It's a theater festival like that. So it's a very good opportunity for people. Now it's slowly blooming, this documentary and short film.
Ashish sir, I was asking them about your hopes on the future of documentary making in India and how these new platforms like OTT are going to help it.
Yeah, this taste of the crowds are changing, and we have seen that people are accepting this documentary or this kind of film, this kind of area. That's why that in the feature film also they are using the more biopics. These sort of films are getting more popular. Why? It is because the people are trained to, the trend is going to that direction. and it's happening. And now I believe that one time there will not be any line between this fiction and non-fiction. So I hope that it will be coming soon, very soon. And OTT platform, definitely they will also give the support. And when it is coming more popular and people are giving the good response, and OTT platform also will give the support, because they are looking for always business, and they are looking for that audience. So if there is a needs, then they should extend their hands.
I want to add one more thing, is that you're saying about documentaries. I think so. This year is a very proud moment for us. At least we have one documentary which was entered into the Oscars, and one we got an award in Cannes. I think so. This really shows that we have a generations that was taken the documentary movement very much ahead. So I'm sure with these kind of performance and achievements, I think so. There's a good way ahead.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other questions from the audience? Okay, in that case, I think we can wrap up the session. Though this MIF dialogue is going to conclude, the sharing of ideas and the celebration of films is not going to conclude. As I said, those who are yet to watch the films can go into the hybrid mode at miff.in and catch these beautiful and interesting films. And thank you everyone for participating in the MIF dialogue. Thank you, sirs.
Thank you, everybody.